Hey guys, welcome to the stream. How you guys doing, man? Today it's gonna be diagnosis. Jumping into your safes, jumping into your tactics. So the guys on Discord, you guys know exactly where those tactics are meant to land. And for those who just joined the show, that's the link. Yes, you can use that link to upload your tactic using that link. I'll pop the link up in half an hour again. And whoever's in, we'll be looking at tactics. And apparently, Richard Keys, our intrepid Richard Keys, has reckoned that Liverpool might be looking at Isak and Milos Kerkez, or Kerkez, I can't pronounce his name, I might have gotten it wrong, as possible targets for Liverpool over the summer window. That's a huge outlay, like 150, at least 200 million just for two players. I don't think that's happening. Now, Liverpool really only have about 200 million in the transfer kitty, so I doubt they're going to drop a bomb for Alexander Isak. I think the player that Liverpool might grab as a striker, I mean, they will definitely be looking at somebody who has some Premier League experience. Isak definitely has that, but I don't think they're going to be looking at that. The players will definitely have had some experience playing in the top flight. They'll have to be ready to get go. So Liverpool aren't likely. I don't think they're going to be signing that player. I doubt it. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Well, today we've got a few tactics. I've got a few tactics from you guys already. And just taking a look at the first one. It's a very nice, interesting 4-3-3. I like it. Inverted winger, AP, very creative. Wing backs are going to drive forward aggressively. This is positive. Low crosses. So when I see low crosses, generally you want to be playing with players that can actually keep the ball, because you want to be... A low cross happens when you get to the byline of the opposition and do a cutback. Then you've got Edison, you got a DLP and Cook Miners, and a box to box. So you've got positional play elements here as well. These two are going to be in this zone, so there's not really much of a change. They will just shift up. These guys will go a bit wider. The wing backs have no PIs. I don't think this... typically when he who sends this tactic in, normally he doesn't use PIs. So we have no PIs. We got low cross dribble, less. You can see the block is... not much higher, not the maximum block, but he's got a prevent shot, goalkeeper distribution, trigger press. When you're in doubt, this is fine and this is fine. Like, so whenever you're not sure about trigger press, either or, it's fine. Yeah. Because the thing about this is, this doesn't mean you're closing down more. It's a myth. Because if you drop it all the way here and you try a game on different mentalities, your players will still close down. That's the thing about the game. The game works off zonal marking, so they will close down if a player enters the zone. Now, how aggressively they close down depend on attributes like aggression, and whether or not they might get into press even more will depend on triggers. Like, sometimes players are going to close down, right? Okay, they'll close down, but will they go in? Now, if your trigger press has been set to a very high number, it just means that when the player makes a mistake with the ball, the player is going to go in and try and take advantage of the situation. Now, this also means that if you're playing with a much higher defensive line, chances are zonal areas are going to overlap, right? So when that happens, other players might also be involved. So you might have more than one player going in. So this is how trigger press actually works in the game. You can actually play on 0 and you still see closing down. But now, because it's so low, it means that, yeah, he's made a mistake, but we're going to give him some more room. You see, that's the difference. So unless that player is like smack dab in his face and the defenders have no choice. Like, for example, inside forward cuts inside, which is typical, right? Inside forward cuts inside, the fullback is out of position. The central defender will definitely go up. There's no DM. The central defender will pull out because he's a threat. So that happens, right? Whether try it. My advice to everybody is go try this thing out and have lots of fun. You'll quickly start seeing this as a very interesting way to manipulate how well you can keep your players to hold the line. So I like this tactic. It's not bad. It's gonna be interesting. I'm not a big fan of having the AP here. Yeah, but I can see what you're trying to do. But there's it seems like there's a lot of creativity all for one player. But he's playing high up the pitch and he's looking at low crosses. So low crosses just means there's going to be a lot of cutbacks. So you need a team that's pretty good. Okay, let's go in and have a look at what this tactic. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I'm changing the skin. I've been saying I'm changing the skin for like a few weeks and I haven't done it. So let's reload the skin. I want to use a Tato skin. I've been using the default Football Manager skin. There are two skins I'll use, Guru skin or the Tato skin. That's the only two skins I'll use in the game. Why? Because both have heat maps. Or rather they have, heat maps. Yeah, heat maps. Kind of useful tool to use in the game. Alright, so we're going to go through these tactics. We've got a few more. So the link is already in chat. For those who are on Twitch, I'll put the link out again. For those on YouTube, you can scroll up and get the link. So we've got these 4 tactics from Discord. So we'll be playing all four of these tactics. And on the public side, we haven't got any links in there. These are last week's tactics. So I'm just going to come in here and delete all of them. All right. So let's get ready. And let's go. Okay, all right. Okay, yeah, this is a Tato skin. I prefer the Tato skin. It's either Tato or what's the other skin I use? Guru skin. Oh no, we got 6 days, so we might as well just go on holiday until the game itself. So the next league we go to is England, right? So I think you guys voted for Aston Villa on the last stream. I'll bring it up again later because we're already in February, so we need to start discussing which is the next team that we take up. All right, so we've got a complete wingback, Volante moving forward, inside forward here. So this is what I see is really pretty. The Volante has to come up to be for this tactic to be a threat. So the 2 complete wingbacks as well. So there's going to be some space at least on this side of the pitch, on the right side of the pitch. But once again, a lot of it depends on how well we can keep the ball. Okay, so we'll quick pick, add a few more players to the bench. No simulation. Yeah, if you simulate using the quick match engine, FYI. Okay, so I don't like to simulate because it's going to be based on reputation and CA. Yeah, so I never liked it. I never hit the simulate button. I absolutely detest the simulate button. Okay, all right, so we've got the positional heat maps, right, from kickoff. You can see how they're set up, like 1, 5, and a 4 and a 1. The formation that they are playing is this. You can see how they set up. So in the build, again, always I recommend this. If you're new to the game and you're struggling, I always recommend using a skin like this. We'll go to comprehensive highlights and then we'll slow this game down because I was only on commentary. All right, so we've got the I like this 4-3-3 against a back 5 because you're always going to be putting pressure on their wingback. So any tactic that can put pressure on wingbacks, right? Like 4-3-3, 4-2-4, right? Those tactics stand out against the back 5 systems, including the 4-2-3-1. So anytime you have these two or players in these 2 positions, you can put pressure on back 5 systems. So it's now a question of how well we can play. Now you just saw the defensive lines of both teams. I don't know if you caught that. I'm gonna drop this down so you can see the match speed between highlights is slower. This is nice inverted winger looking in. Are there any underlaps in this tactic, overlaps? Now, you see the moment you play underlap, overlap, the widest player, you will notice that his run, kind of, he will hold up the ball looking for that run. So, whenever you have an overlap, the widest player holds up the ball for somebody running on the outside. When he does an underlap, the widest player holds up the ball looking for somebody on the inside. Now, this also includes a MLMR position. So you want to be looking at this. So he doesn't use it. So those inverted wingers are actually behaving like inside cutting wingers going into the box. That's important. Sometimes you want the Iron Robin special. So the only way to get the Iron Robin special would be to play an inverted winger, play him on attack duty, and then he drives into the pitch. But you can't use the overlap or the underlap. But what you would probably end up doing is use a role like a wingback. Yeah, so the wingback can actually do quite well in certain systems. But you need to have players that can, dribble with the ball. That's my one recommendation. Right, so far so good. I mean, it's looking quite comfortable. We're not making any changes to the tactic. Minus already has a yellow. But only downside with this tactic, and this is the downside, it's clear as daylight. You only have one guy making an attempt to score goals. So let's see if... So all these guys are running all the way down to the flanks, and they go like, okay, we're doing a low cross. Yeah, we're looking for a low cross opportunity. Okay, all right. No, sorry, we can't find one yet. We'll try again. Okay, now goes there. Ruggeri plays one simple ball into the area. They're trying to feed the AF. Remember what the AF is? Focal point of attacks. You don't want this to happen? Change the role. Pressing forward, poacher, DLF on attack, complete forward on attack. Yeah, then you won't see those kind of like desperate attack. Because right now it's inverted winger, right? So they're going to go in and they're going to start going, okay, fine. We are inverted wingers. We're supposed to look for goal scoring, players in good goal scoring positions. So you've got a whole bunch of them looking for that. No, I think only one AF. Like, okay. One player versus 3 central defenders. Liv Doprov, how are you? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing, man? Think on that for a while. Huh? You got 1 striker versus 3 defenders. And every time those inverted wingers come in, they're actually bringing more players around the striker, right? So every time he drives in, he is actually pulling, you need to either make sure that there's enough time so they pull, which is one of the reasons why I love using the underlap. Because he holds up the ball, he attracts the press, right? Now, you see, as they run in, the poor, lonely AF is all by his lonesome. So we lost the player. Minus. No worries. This is what we call diagnosis, right? So we have this miracle drug that we can give them after the game and they'll be back. We just don't have miracle players, that's all. So what can I do? Well, first, I'll probably change the role to something that doesn't just bomb off. Pressing forward. He's in. Lukman, see these 2 wide players are going to have low goal scoring opportunities, all at angles. So we have to find a way. I mean, it's not a bad tactic, but you see, this is a challenge. The 4-3-3 is essentially defensive. So for it to score goals against a team that's playing defensively, you gotta put more pressure on their back line. So we're not doing it, right? So how do we do it? Well, fundamentally, we got to change a few roles. We got choice A. AP changes to Mazzala on attack. Now he's attacking the half space and he's looking for opportunities. Change inverted winger to maybe a winger that stretches that side of the pitch even more, pulling the fullback and the central wingback and the central defender away, or alternatively, get him to attack the zone. Well, we're gonna have to tweak it a bit. So far, Lukman is playing well, but maybe we can take. He's playing well as an inverted winger. He has gotten into the area a couple of times. What else can we do? Change the role on the other side to an inside forward, and get the left side to do a hold up. Hold up meaning we get someone to do an overlap or underlap. Lukman is playing quite well. There's not that again. You see, we lost the ball. The advanced forward was marked. Again, Edison looking, the advanced forward just got inside and he's got 3 defenders on him. The moment he gets into the box, there's 2 on him already. So we need to rip that 3-man defense apart. This is the biggest challenge when you play a 4-3-3. It was easy in FM 19, 16, 17, 18 because the defending was terrible. In FM 24, it's a lot more challenging. Lazio they're looking very comfortable because we may have had 8 chances, only 3 on target, and even between the 3, nothing has been. Especially what has happened here. See these two? They're all here. See, these guys are here. He's not doing anything, right? So he's just coming into the center, just making things easier for the defenders because there's no one is moving. So when he gets this to this position, how is he going to do a cutback? He's got to have the. I mean, even Messi can't come in here and do a juggle and then back up and then got 2. You see, watch this, right? How are you going to score? Right. So you can't score from this, right? So it's going to be very difficult to score from this. So you've got to find a way to pull those 3 apart. So this is what we're going to do in the second half. I like 4-3-3s. They can be quite good systems, but it requires a bit of like, okay, how do I pull them apart? Right. So we've got 3 defenders. Choice A. I get one guy to stay wide, pulling him and potentially this guy away. Then to pull him even further, we take the AP and play him as a Mazzala attack. The Mazzala is going to come this way. Instead of going this way like an AP, he's going to go this way. In doing that, we might pull 2 players away to this zone. If we have an underlap, we will drag a whole bunch of players to this side of the pitch and this will open up space here. Which means that this role can become an inside forward. He can be on the lookout to score goals. And we can leave this as a box-to-box midfielder. He could come in late to score a goal. And then we think about him for it. And now the AF makes sense because he can escape, right? He can target that space. Here we go, there we go. Okay, he's on. He's through. He's looking. And again, we get into the hole. Oh, everyone's blocked. Yeah, there's a cramp. And the 3-4-3 is a good tactic. Yeah, I mean, the 3-4-1-2 is actually a very good. The Amorim's one is 3-4-2-1. 3-4-2-1 is extremely good. But the way the 3-4-2-1 is played in real life and getting it to work exactly the same way on Football Manager, a bit of a stretcher. Okay, all right. So what we're gonna do? So we know that this is the problem, right? So I'm gonna change this guy into a Mazzala on attack. Hey, Godspurs, how are you? How are you doing? So these 2 now are gonna be operating on this side. So we add the underlap now. Widest player is gonna hold up the ball looking for inside run. He's gonna give us our inside run. Now on this side, we're gonna turn this guy into an inside forward. We leave AF, and then we've got focus play on the left. With the focus play and the underlap right now, the widest player is going to hold up the ball, looking for inside run, which might come from this. As he's running at a defense, pulling players apart, he can attack the space, and so can he. Okay. All right, let's just try that. Okay. Wow. Okay, second half starts. Now, our goal is to pull those defenders away, right? So that's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna change. I mean, I know you like the wing back, so I'm not gonna change him. We can actually make it more likely that that side holds on to the ball by playing fullback. The fullback's gonna pass inside. But because we'll just do it this way. Because there's a Mazzala attack, we have a wing back supporting. Oh, there we go. What? Not bad. He's got some space finally. So Skamaka is not getting some space. The Mazzala is fine, box to box. We got this guy. Is he an inside forward by any chance? Does he? Well, I can't even tell, man. I haven't used this skin for ages. Where does he say left foot, right foot? See here? Yeah, very strong left foot coming in from this side. Okay. That sounds like a plan, baby. Zappa Costa is on a yellow, so we're gonna make a change. Do we have a right back? Emil Home. Okay. Home will come on. I will leave them. Die, but otherwise go. How's everything? I hope everything is going okay, I guess. Yeah. I mean, yeah, things are okay. Amata, he can like it all he wants. It's clear it isn't working in the league, and there's a reason why only one team. I don't. Yeah, but the thing is this, at the end of the day, he doesn't have the players for the system that he wants to play. That's it. Yeah. He doesn't have them. Sometimes I think managers might have to adapt. He doesn't adapt, so I mean, at least we'll see lah. Maybe I think as well. United's priorities are the Europa Cup. Okay, let's go. Blocked. And Edison doesn't do much. Okay, here again now. Oh man, what a terrible terrible pass from the keeper. Okay, I'm going to remove player defense. Why? We already have a DM and a ball playing defender. We don't really need player defense. We don't really need this instruction. They don't have to come deeper because the other thing about POOD here is the DM actually drops deeper during the build-out phase. He's holding position. They've got two double ball playing defenders. We don't need a player or defense. We've got the players to play our the roles to play our defense. Very deep enough. Okay, he's offside. Who was offside, man? When using a counter, no, that's not. No, there's no rule that says you can't use a underlap and you can't use overlap, underlap. Yeah, because you have to remember what underlap and overlap do, right? They hold up the ball looking for runs. So you could have a very lopsided setup where you're doing a focus play on one side. You draw in the opposition, right? You draw in the opposition. You're building up play as they come high up the pitch. You can hit them on the right. Yeah, you have to remember, focus play is all about creating overloads on certain sides of the pitch. We're doing quite well. Okay, so maybe AF. Oh, we got. Okay, we created one or two chances, but now I got to think about taking off players. Pasali should come off. Mirancho will come. I think Mirancho is right foot or left footed. I think he's right footed. Use outside, cuts inside from right wing. Very strong. Okay. We're running out of players. We are definitely running out of players. I got no more. I got no more left and rights. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Those are all the final substitutions. Danilo Cataldi, man, that's a name from Blast from the Past. Number of times I used him in all the old saves. So I would probably make these small changes like Mazzala, and underlap on this side of the pitch so you can stretch the team and try and look at creating goal scoring opportunities. You got this guy going into the half space, right? So wait, let's see. One. Okay, now we see this. Okay, so let's see. Tempo. I forgot to adjust your tempo. I don't think it's okay. Yeah, slightly shorter, fairly wide, that's fine. Dribble less is fine. Martin Rune, Sukamaka with the ball. Miranchuk now attacking the area. When was United last in the Europa Cup semi-finals? I don't know, is it? When was the last time United were last in the Europa Cup semi-finals? Yeah, Ole, right? That was the last time, right? So I would venture to say that he's not doing too badly yet. I mean, considering the fact that he's probably given up on the doing well in the league. Where is United didn't get relegated? But ultimately, it's still your management choosing to go with a new way. I mean, you have to look at the owners of the club, right? So if you go in, oh nice, Mirancho is got a knock. And whoa, that should have been a goal. Finally, we got space for the striker to get in. Yeah, I would play like this. Yeah, definitely, because it's giving our advanced forward more space, and that's really the first really good chance he's had that he's missed. Miranchuk to our advanced forward, who once again, I'm not a big fan of low crosses. I'm gonna have to put my hands up there and say I'm not I don't like using low crosses willy-nilly unless I'm dominating sides. Then I'll also lower my tempo slightly so I can get more players involved. This team is looking okay after this. You don't know, low crosses isn't about I pass pro. Low crosses isn't about when you play low crosses, you eliminate the need for jumping reach as a primary driver for all your goals. Because low crosses are cutbacks, what? Cutbacks you score with the foot. So jumping reach is not important when you do low crosses. But it just means that you going quite high up the pitch all the time to score goals. So if you don't, then you give you. What is your opinion? Manchester United is quite lacking most for Amorim's game. I think they just lack a lot of players. Less than 12 is fine. I don't think it's an issue. Yeah. If you've got good players, then fine. It's still okay. Because low crosses, you need because you I know you can't float to a bunch of Messis, correct? You don't want to mix balls, right? So there's always a time and a place. Okay, so we saw the first tactic. I think the first tactic, what I would do is, that was fast. I would change this guy to a mez on a tank. And I'll just play like this. Change this role only. So that what you can get is like players going to the half space. I mean, this guy can be a winger as well if you want. But then what we get is underlap and the focus play. Yeah. So in doing so, we will pull the opposition to this side of the pitch. You don't really need player or defense for this tactic because the DLP, BPD as sweeper keeper. These three are fine. Unless your team is really bad. Because player or defense is going to pull all these guys a bit closer to your back line. So then after that, you got to really work your ball out. Otherwise, you got the four of them and these guys in these positions, you can work the ball out. Yeah. So next tactic we have. Let's go BYT. Okay. Alex 433. Another 433. Wow. You got a lot of 4-4-3-3s today. Juventus away. Uh-oh. We're running. First up, remove all injury. I have to become unsackable for this one. Because chances are I get sacked. This save, I'll get sacked. We had some crazy tactics. All right, quick pick. Let's see. We've got fullback. All right, do. Okay, still got player defense. AP, double APs are going this way. Okay, I get what this tactic is trying to do. DLF is going to drop inside forwards. He's got a lot of forward movement. His central forward movement is tactic. Got a lot of short passes. It's going to be challenging again. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I have to see how this tactic plays out. Because these 4-3-3s, right? If you play like this, you gotta make sure you have players that can carry the team. Because again, another tactic which has got a lot of short passes, high tempo in the final third just means that you might not get a lot of players coming up to support in time. It's just basically the DLF and the two APs. And then the inside forwards just being in the half space, trying to be a threat in terms of for goal scoring. So yeah, you gotta have the players for this. The APs already moved forward already. See these two? Okay, so we're looking at, I'm paying attention to the two APs, how they interact with not Gatti. It's Kamaka. Okay, alright. See how they two interact. I see how high up the pitch they are. They're just in the center. So this requires your players, your inside forwards are good finishing because they're gonna get into positions, and everything's gonna happen in the center, that little area. That's one of the reasons why he went wide. He didn't go super narrow. DLF is a very important role here. Otherwise, you can't make those two APs work. Good choice, Was it F9 or DLF? I'm glad you picked the DLF instead of the F9. Okay, we're playing against an ultra defensive UV. You know. Look at their defensive line. You can tell from the heat map what their defensive line is. While we are so high up the pitch, they have got a low defensive line. So all we gotta do is keep the ball. So you can tell, you can see, right? That's one of the reasons why I recommend using this skin. Because you can tell what the defensive line is. And if it was me, right, if I was playing this game, I would like try and make it harder for them to pass the ball to the center by using opposition instructions that shut out. Force the Cambiaso and McKennie to stay wide. So I'll go into the game and I'll do this. Right, so you come in here. I mean, you just have to. So this show onto foot. We'll just do this out. And remove this. Remove this. Oh, this is I think we're getting the ass man to do everything here. Yeah. Clear. Yeah, that's all the S-man, man. We go right and then left. Okay. Yeah, I think the S-man is doing everything. I think we did a setting in the last stream. For fun. AP with the ball, plays it back, links up with the inside forward, AP again. DLF on support on his own, looking for the goal, scored the goal. This is a Tato skin. Against a team that's playing so deep, is it better to hold shape? Nah, don't hold shape. Because if they are so deep, right, and they actually get a goal scoring opportunity against you, they're probably very high up. So you want to counter. You need to counter. You cannot hold shape against this team. Don't play hold shape against a team that is set on the counter, because every time you get a counter opportunity, you're basically telling your team don't attack them. Build play up slowly, get everybody into attacking positions. So against these kind of ultra defensive systems, don't do that. Have your counter on. So we don't have to worry. Our goal here should be to keep the ball, and they're doing good job. Their DLF is just linking up play. Inside forward, get in. Oh, they got another goal. But I think this time Kamaka may be offside. It's because the APs are running at the defense when they get the ball. So this is nice. See, look where the APs are, right? These are the two APs. So these are the two APs, and this is his DLF. So I say pay attention to how dynamic these three roles will be, because Mirancho and him are inside forward, so they're going to be in the half space here. When they get the ball, right, then Basalish is going to attack this way, and Derun is going to attack this way. Whilst Kamaka pulls the two defenders out. Watch what he does, right? Okay, now he goes in. Defenders are there. And then he's got the defender's attention. Pasalic pulls one back and Skamaka is the far post. It's not bad. It's a nice tactic. Initially, I have to admit, I was skeptical because there's two APs. I was like, But I get they're the only roles that hold on the ball and attract players to them. The two APs are having a fiery moment here. They got triple playmakers. If you think triple playmakers is wrong, then please go look at the tiki-taka system that SI has as a default tactic. It's got 3 playmakers too. So every time you hear a comment that there's one too many playmakers in your tactic, I'm sorry, people have been doing this for a long time. I've seen it in the game. I even seen 4 target man tactics work. 3 Tequatistas tactic. 3 Tequatistas is a bridge too far, but it can work, but it's not so fun. So the boys are doing okay. It's a 2-goal lead, man, against an ultra defensive formation. So they got high up the pitch. There's a reason why you want to counter immediately. So looking at that, you see the defensive line is so low. Ours, this is how you can tell the AI. You could compare to your own. So if you're looking at yours, see, ours is a high defensive line, and theirs is so low. This is, if they have a standard defensive line, they'll be about somewhere around here. This is somewhere between 4 here, just before 5 is standard defensive line already. Somewhere around here is standard. High will be close to 5. Right? That'll be high. Standard is somewhere here. This is low, man. This is a low defensive line. Sometimes I like playing against these kind of teams. You know what I like to do? I'll drop my defensive. The second half, we're going to try something again. I'm going to drop my defensive line to low defensive line. Meaning my fullbacks don't go up the pitch anymore. What can you do, right? So then I will just have a high block, low defensive line. That will keep our back line relatively our back line back. Garancho running away because he's an inside forward. He's got dribbles more. There we go. Rafael Tolo in such a beautiful spot. The fullback goes out the pitch. If we play low defensive line, probably won't see that. Pasalic trying. We might lose, but never mind. Want to see what happens. So far, I think this becomes potentially one of the tactics of the week. Nice use of the APs. The triple playmaker setup. Very nice use. Not very often I've seen people do this. Vlahovic has scored a goal. Vlahovic has scored a goal, man. That's 2. Yeah, I know inside forwards can be playmakers. They definitely can be playmakers. Oh, I lost something. Hi, Milos. How are you? Welcome to the stream. I don't think we're going to take any risk. We're going to leave the tactic as it is. I want to see how he plays off the full game. I wouldn't change too much, though. The fullbacks are quite high up. Maybe I'll just drop the defensive line slightly. Yeah, and let them come up the pitch. Oh, no. They scored a second goal. That run, right? I noticed what happened is the 2 APs, right? This is why, you see this? Okay. This goal was conceded because of the way the midfield is structured. Okay. Watch this, right? So I'm going to have to switch out of this. I'm going to go to 2D. Okay. All right. So we have the ball here. You got Edison and Passage. These are our 2 APs, right? Yeah, no, I don't think it's Edison. I think it's Darun and Pasalic. So you're looking at Pasalic and Darun, our 2 APs, right? So, oh man. See the goal. I want to show you. Excuse me. Let's look at the second goal. I'll show you the second goal again. All right. Okay. If you go back here, you see them getting pulled out. Okay. So here we have the 2. These are 2 APs on attack, no? That's why they're so high up. If they were anything less, they'll be here. See, the ball comes up, they're already here. Watch this. This is a gap, right? Okay. All right. There we go. The 3 of them are here. Our DM has moved up. Because the APs he's out of position. Right? Okay. AP on attack, out of position because he's on attack duty. Right? This guy's on attack duty. There's a big gap now here. Edison has come in. This gap created by the AP on attack. That's why this defender will now have to step up because Biretti has the ball. Boom. This has got absolutely bugger all to do with your pressing intensity. It's got everything to do with the duty that you chose. And so the duty, because AP attack, they will do that. So now we're going to try and see whether something different can happen in the second half. All right, so we've got this. I'm going to make sure that not many players don't get influenced by having to chase after a player. Okay, I'm going to hold this on defend duty, not support anymore. So that's why one of the reasons why it went out. So we're going to do that first. Second thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try something radical. I'm going to bring the defensive line deep down because I don't need these guys to take part in the attacks, right? Alright, so they're just gonna support play. So now he's got deeper, so he's gonna stay in that hole. Dressing room. I'm the worst player in my division. You? I need to fight relegation. You're the worst team in your division. You need to fight relegation. All my stats are below average. What's the recommendation? High block, low block. Play a high block 4-4-2 DM. I have a 4-2-4 DM on standby. For you to change to. Yeah. So basically what you're playing is a 4-4-2 DM and a 4-2-4 DM. But the same tactic. Just I have two versions. One is a bit more attacking, one's a bit more defensive. The 4-2-4, you use it against every tactic that comes in the back. Every tactical system that is a back 5, you play the 4-2-4. You'll be using a 4-2-4 DM quite often. Which type of system or attack would you use a pressing for and defend? Probably... I've never used a pressing forward and defend. And if I were to use one, I'd probably use it in a 4-4-2 to hold down the lead. I've done it on streams when I play a 4-4-2. And it's a difficult opposition. I'm an underdog. And I was playing a 4-2-4. Then I swap into a 4-4-2 and I get my 2 strikers to be pressing forwards because I park the bus. Yeah. So I only use a pressing forward and defend when I want to park the bus. And I'm playing a 4-4-2. That's the only time. Will never use it in an attacking system. Because that's then I'm just taking a player out from the attack. Okay, who is this on the ground? We got Ruggeri is injured, so we'll bring on Mitchell Baker. Edo Poro. We keep the 2 guys in the middle. Maybe... Yeah, okay. The wing fullbacks won't be tired. They're on support and we're not really asking them to get forward. But what we've done is what I've done is I have kind of like kept my fullbacks further back. Yeah. So I'm letting the APs do all the work now. So they are going to work. They are the ones who all they do is they keep the defense. So they are playing on a standard defensive line. So I don't overcommit. And the DLP is now on defend duty, so it's not too close to those midfielders now. But you can see he's always charging in, right? See, he's got nothing there. I told you, right? I can drop this some more. No? And it's not, no. I don't want too many players chasing after the same chap. Just now he wanted to go and join marry hands with the rest of the team. I'm like, what? Stay back, man. I don't like. I am not a big fan of maximum number of players chasing a player. So we got the ball out. That's what we call holding our shape. Because if you hold your shape, it's harder for a team to break you down. I was watching your save with Bournemouth. The tips are very good and how to face. There's always a way to play against different formations. Okay, nice. Whoa! That is a good goal because we don't need the fullbacks to go up the pitch. That's why I kept a standard defensive line. The fullbacks don't have to go up. You see, the standard defensive line, when you change the defensive line, you affect everybody in the pitch. No? Everybody will take a shot. Everybody's defensive line is affected, right? So we don't go high up the pitch, and then we have a DLP on defend duty as well. So this just keeps our center a bit more protected because earlier our center was ripped apart. Nice goal. We don't need the midfield to get involved. We don't need the fullbacks to go too far up the pitch. Hey, Mongol, thanks for the follow, man. Okay, so you notice, right? What's happened now is because I've dropped this trigger press, I don't have multiple fellas going for the same chap who's turned his back. You see, okay, how do you tell? Okay, you look at this. You see these 2 little things here, black. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm going to zoom in even more. Let's hope I get this right. I have to find it on my screen. Yeah, I hope I'm right now. Hope I'm right. Oh, okay, lower a bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, you see number 15 here? He's got these two black things, right? Those are his feet. So if the ball is here in front of him, right? Like if he's like, now these are all assume these are all defenders, right? Okay, these are all defenders. So when a defender receives the ball, like this guy has received the ball. Like this guy has received the ball, Danilo, right? His feet are forward. Okay, nobody's pressing him. Now, if he passes the ball to him and his back is turned, these two guys will come for him. So if his feet are pointing this way, in this direction, these two will come. That is trigger press. Okay. So you see that this guy is missed. He didn't control the ball the first time. So yeah, he didn't get his first touch, no? Boom, there. So the players went in. So trigger press works that way. You gotta be careful about trigger press. Trigger press is not pressing intensity. I keep saying that every year. Wait, what am I supposed to do? Zoom out. Yeah, okay. Doing okay, man. Baroom, what a ball to Mirancho. Okay, we're gonna come out of this because if you can't tell from here, then what you do is you go to sideline view, then watch for the player, the animation, right? If his back is turned. If his back is turned, then you invite the press. Okay, so we got that. I see. So Miranchok's back was turned, right? Immediately somebody went for him. Look at that. See? His back is turned now. He's gonna chase anybody next. So I know if the trigger press is very high. Like this Steve's trigger press is very high. There we go. KSR also went, this guy went, this guy went. This is when trigger press intensity is 3/4 or max. Okay. So we know theirs is max, right? Play mixed passing, no work ball, be more disciplined. I want to take advantage of it. See? Now I'm going to try and take advantage of it. Okay. And opposition instructions. Hey, no. Boom. And we don't have it. So we're going to do the wing back, keep him to the right. This wing back, keep him to the left. Left. Okay. Yeah, McKennie on the ball. Nicely done. Lukman got to the ball. Miranchok now. It's harder to tell. I want you all to see the tactic. But once you get used to understanding what trigger press is, right? Okay. Once you understand what trigger press is, right, I'm telling you, your whole world is gonna change when you play Football Manager. You're just gonna see things in a different way. Smaka, what a ball. Cannot be just, I know that what they're doing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play wider and I'll pass the ball longer. Then more their players are gonna run around. Let them. Yeah. So you see what has happened, right? Even when we have the ball, look at that. The guy's turned his back, right? He's chasing him. Now only he is chasing him. No, I don't have all these jokers coming out their line now. They're like, okay, fine. Only one there. You see? He's gone, chase. Who else is going? His back is turned, right? Because he is closer to him, he's in his zone. So he goes. But this guy is going to... He's not going all the way, check back, and then goes back. In football, right, it's like a nightmare for managers, right? If they see their players are more than one player is going, because it's what we call pressing with purpose, right? A lot of teams you in real life don't press like the maximum intensity of trigger press in Football Manager. Oh, come on, nice. Oh, we're all over them. Ooh, we should have scored. I like this tactic. It's very nice. Yeah, I didn't change anything, right? I'm pretty certain I did not change anything. Martin Darun, we're gonna take him off and bring on somebody else. I don't know. Who do we bring on? We don't have another playmaker. I only got him. He's got 8 for bravery. Okay, if there's any time to find out whether we lose the ball here, this is gonna be it, man. Nice. Okay. Okay. Oh, oh, oh. Nice. Okay, good. Well, they've gone into a 4-2-4. So now we definitely want to remove those instructions. Because now we want them to pass the ball to the inside. We don't want them to pass the ball outside anymore. Okay, boom. Nice. Okay, we created a space. And their defensive line is sweet. Nice. Gets inside. And it's not going to be another goal. Boom. Defender well. Easy. Camp easy. All right. Take Zappa Costa off. He's going to get an injury soon. Emil home. We'll play Bustthenet for Baker. Undo that one. He came as a sub. For defending. Yeah. All right, not too bad. But we're gonna berate the boys because not everybody came back. I just had a thought. Playmakers love the middle of the pitch, so probably mid block instead of high defense. Perfect. Mid. We don't want that. The whole idea is your block is just a pattern of your tactics. So the one thing that I would change is the defensive line only. Yeah. Because if you are going to play a mid block, then you need attack duties in the final third. At least one winger, one striker. But he doesn't have. He's got like only 2 support duties and 3 midfield duties on attack. So I don't think mid block would be a good idea for this tactic. Yeah. The trigger press is important to determine either a man or ball or no. Actually, Football Manager, there's no way for us to actually, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I don't think there is a way for us to determine whether it's if the player has the ball, we press that one. It's that you can only do from OIs. Like things like hard tackle, right? On a play, like you choose a player to hard tackle him. That's like a man-orientated instruction. That means if that player comes, you deal with him. Whereas trigger press is more like a ball-orientated pressing instruction. Meaning if that player has miscontrolled the ball, right? Because then it's a mixture of both. Because for trigger pressing, it's more like you're telling your team how to react to a player miscontrolling the pass or not controlling the ball or turning his back on another player. So that is trigger pressing. Trigger pressing is just that bar there is just the intensity at which your team is supposed to perform that task. Like, that's one of the reasons why when I don't want more than one player stepping out of their lines, right? Then I definitely jerk back on that, the pressing the trigger pressing intensity. Like just now, I wanted to keep the ball, right? And I wanted to make sure my players held their line better. So what did I do? I changed one of the DLP to a defend duty, so he stayed back. On top of that, I dropped my defensive line to standard, so I kept my fullbacks back so that they don't go too high up the pitch to support play. That way, I leave the midfield 4 to do whatever they can do to score a goal, and they did exactly that. So this tactic isn't bad. I like this tactic. I mean, I like to play tactics that give me options, but I think here, if you play this guy as a DLP on defense, you probably get a much more solid shape where these 3 don't intersect, especially when it's throw-ins, right? That's how when we lost the ball, we conceded a goal because we're throw-in. And then all three intersected because of we can't control throw-ins in Football Manager because it's AI driven. So we got three jokers all in the same zone. So the only way I can have changed that is play him on a defend duty, and yeah, it seemed to have worked. So I'll probably play. Only change I make to this tactic is this DRP on defend. That's it. Don't need any other changes to this tactic. This is a good tactic. Let's go to the next tactic that we have. Ram Daughter focus versus mode. Oh, I hope it's not versus mode tactic. You're wrong. You want the Ram Daughter to score goals or make goals? Okay, wherever you put the focus, that player is not scoring goals. You're creating goals there. It should be focus play down the left if you want the Ram Daughter to be the scorer of goals. Otherwise, the Ram Daughter is not scoring goals. It just means they got more, because wherever you put the focus, more players are going to be there. So you're making the Ram Daughter's job a bit more harder. You're making it harder because how is he going to find space if you decided to tell the whole team to play there? So kind of like against the Ram Daughter, because the Ram Daughter is a space space invader, right? So he needs the space to invade. No space, Ram Daughter is not going to invade. So you've taken away the space. So we have to play these tactics, right? And we have to play them for the first 45 minutes before we make changes. I'll go into the PIs, or if any, and the TIs once we kick off. Okay, so let's look at the tactic, right? So we've got a Ram Daughter, take more risk, dribble more. AP doing everything else, hold up ball, take more risk, move into channels. When I think the most important role for him is actually, the most important PI for this guy is actually none of the above. But, I don't know, maybe move into channels and roam from there. I need him to go here and here. Yeah, but now he's just doing a lot of verticality in his tactics. Stay wider. Okay. Yeah. Wing back, cut inside with the ball. Okay. Volante not doing much. Fullback is staying back. CD. Pass into space. Focus play down the right. Pass into space. A lot of long passes in this tactic going to happen because of this. Because you're asking the wing backs to be the first. And then trap outside. Trap outside. If you put a trap outside, you can guarantee yourself this much. This guy is not defending. This guy is not defending. This guy is not defending. Yeah, because you're trapped. When you play a trap, these guys, because the trap starts from here, opposition third. So what's going to happen is, the moment you activate a trap, all these players are not going to do anything except let the opposition go down the flanks. That's how a trap works. They're not going to stand there and go like, I'm going to win you the ball now. They're just going to go, hey, guess what? My boss told me not to do that. What's the difference between fullback and get further forward versus wingback? It is starting position. That's the difference. Because a fullback starting position is lower, even we get further forward, than a wingback starting position with or without get further forward. Because get further forward is just influences the starting position of the wingback on the pitch. How do I know all that? Is because of the Football Manager. I mean, like, I kind of saw the actual values that they use for fullback and the wingback. Because there's a mentality value for the fullback and the wingback. And that mentality value and the fact that it's hard-coded to start from a different starting position. Yeah. You can tell also, when you go into the game itself. You just see the tactic. You see the one guy is slightly higher than the other, like just now. Okay, so this guy is just going to have focus play. Wait, Lukman has the ball. Now he goes to the left. He's going to run at this team. Ends up playing the ball into a player. Let's go to extend the highlights. If I were to press high with man marking high of the pitch, how would you set this up? I probably wouldn't, because man marking in this game of Football Manager is not predictable. I would avoid it like the plague, because nobody has used man marking in the last 25 years on Football Manager, because in his earliest iterations it was bug ridden. And in his later iterations, it's very hard for you to. Your players will default to things like their positional play positions, default to dropping back into their zones to defend. So positional play, you can't get the fella to man mark somebody throughout the pitch. Yeah, because in football, right, when they tell a player to man mark, the moment they lose the ball, the guy is next to him, right? So yeah, but in football, they don't do it here. So yeah. If you want to set it up, you have to actually go to each individual player in your team and give them somebody to man mark. Very much like how Marcelo Bielsa sets up. It's very time consuming because the moment another player gets substituted, you have to change it again. So you're gonna have to do all that by yourself. So there's no automation in that. So you're gonna have to man mark everybody, right? So you have to go in there and choose the players to man mark. You can. I mean, I know it's possible to do it, but it's a lot of work. So you have to go in like in your 5-2-1-2, right? With two central midfielders. If you want to press high, the problem with the 5-2-1-2, and that is the reason why we need the 5-2-1-2, the back five systems to change. People are doing all kinds of things like what you're doing to get them to press high. So when I want my 5-2-1-2 to press high, I actually play on a very attacking mentality or attacking mentality. I play with a high defensive line, high block, wing back attack, wing back attack. That's how I do it. Because I use the roles and position them high up the pitch, but knowing that wing back attack is the highest position I can get him on, or maybe even complete wing back attack. And then to influence it even more, I play overlap. Then the starting position of my wing back is so high up the pitch that when their players get the ball, my players jump on top of them straight away. So this is the reason, this is how we influence them high up the pitch. But if I were to man mark them, right, it's unpredictable. Even if you try it on Football Manager, it won't work 100% of the time because your wing back is not going to mark their winger all the time. He's going to drop back into his position. So he won't be sitting on them. So that's the reason why when I play the game, if I want to make sure that my wing backs are close, that's what I do. If I want to play like a split court press, which is I want my front group to do all the marking, then I use PIs like tight marking. I apply tight marking on all of them. So my wingers are told to mark tight. My strikers are told to mark tight. So the front guys are the ones doing it. And I tell all of them to hard tackle. This is what is the best way of doing it right now. Because the other ways don't work very well. So this way, because now that we know that those players revert back to their zones when we lose the ball, at least now, when they attack our zone, when they come close to our zone, our players getting tight on them. So that's I find that has to be the best way. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to make a slight change to this tactic, right? So I'm going to try and because the Ramdata really only scored the goal from the penalty. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a focus play this way so the Ramdata is free. We got wing back on attack, DM and defend. This is fine, I guess. Volante is going to cover this. And then here, I'm just going to tell him to roam. Okay, he doesn't need to hold up the ball. Okay, we'll get this guy to be AF. AF is a focal point of attacks. I don't want that. I just want him to be like a deep line forward attack. Okay. The idea is I want to get that space release. I mean, the other role I could possibly use is a complete forward attack. Right, so I get these two to link up, and then they drop off. He drops off. He draws a bit deeper, holds up the ball. We got Volante coming up. The Ramdata looking for space in the inside for this side of the pitch, and we do a overlap. What's the word for it? We do the actually the best one is actually without a doubt is this guy. Let's not waste any time. The best role I find in this position is the AP, especially if I want to play a Ramdata. So I would probably play like an AP, DLF on attack, Ramdata, inside forward, focus play down the left so that we build up play here. And then, you set it to wide width settings, which is okay. Yeah. So pass into space, we don't need that as well. My idea is what I want to do is I want to pull everybody to the left and then get those goal scoring opportunities. DMD, DMS also possible. Wing back on attack. We don't need a wing back on attack. We can get a full back on attack. You know what we do with this guy? Then sit narrower. So he comes into this pocket now. And then he can play like a playmaker. We take Gary out. Bring Gary in. Other power for the rune. Alright. Is it okay to hard tackle every position the opposition stab? Probably not a good idea. Probably not a good idea. Because every time you hard tackle, right, the player comes into the zone, all your players go to ground. They go to ground to bring him down, right? So meaning they slide into that player. So my advice is, hard tackle, the best positions to hard tackle has always been the backline. Because you don't want to give the backline time. Right, so it works with the counter pressing, right? So you end up, it works really well with counter pressing. It works with a high block. Yeah, so you're putting pressure on them. Every time they get the ball, they come close to your player is looking to make a tackle. That would be my recommendation. So in this tactic, I think you could go like DM on support, fullback, right? So you don't overcommit on this side. This guy is coming in this way. Right? And this role can actually be an inside forward or an invert, probably inside forward or even a winger. Because what we end up doing, right, on this side is instead of trying to score goals, we are stretching play on this side of the pitch. So we're stretching play. We got one guy here, one guy here. Between the two of them, they can drive one over here. This guy is roaming, so he's going to go to the left and support play. This opens up a lot of space for the two strikers. You see, when you get the ball, you see a lot of space. I'm trying to disrupt build-up play as soon as possible. It is an almost impossible task when you play a 5-2-1-2 to disrupt play. Yeah, it is. It is singularly the hardest thing to do. Because the only way you can disrupt play is by having players in those positions, because ultimately this is a game. Football Manager. And Football Manager as a game has never ever been able to... You can't play a back five on Football Manager unless those, like for example, you play wingers in your five-man system. Like wingers, wingers on it. Even when I play defensive wingers, I tell them get further forward. So you can imagine how difficult it is to pin the fullbacks down. And I've seen a lot of people, what they do is they tell the two strikers to go and mark the two fullbacks. I'm like, why now? What? That's not really helping the situation very much. Because what you're doing is you're creating a workaround. Because you see how teams are actually playing nowadays, they have their wing backs so high up the pitch when the opposition doesn't have the ball. So, yeah. So I would if I were to modify this tactic, it would be to play this guy maybe as a winger. This guy is a fullback on attack. Tell this guy to sit narrow. He'll come into this hole. Turn this guy into like a DM on support. Turn this guy into an AP on S. This guy to like a DLF on attack. Now what you have is going to be a focus play with, you can remove this, you can play on the left. No? So what is you're actually focusing play down the left. Right. This guy is going to roam, right? So he's going to roam. And if you really want to use hold up position, a hold up ball, it's really up to you. But what I like to do is I actually like him to go here and here to support play. So if you do focus, he's going to move to the left. Now, when these guys move to the left, right, they attract the opposition. Then you get a round out. If you wanted to make a round outer focus tactic, that's how I would do it. I think we've made a few round outer focus tactics where the round outers are the star of the show. And in order to do that, all had a common denominator, focus play on the opposite side of where the round outer is playing. Okay, Spurs Phantom, true roles with DLP, huh? I don't know what that means, true roles. Okay, we got DLP, roaming playmaker, inverted. Oh, I like this, man. Inverted is going to come here, fullback is going to come here, right? Okay, there's a lot of build-up here, no? This guy is going to hold out the ball looking for him to run on the inside. What have you done? Nothing, okay. He's going to wait for him to run on the inside. DLP is coming out. Roaming playmaker is coming down here, then going up here. with the winger. DLF is going to hold out the ball. The poacher keeps everybody's attention, and he's playing it tempo. Everything's going through the middle. Working ball into the box. There's not a lot of crosses. Underlaps. Widest players are always holding out the ball, looking for inside runs. Coming from this roaming playmaker, inverter winger. I don't know. It should be coming from this fullback. I think you made a mistake. Huh? Okay, I'm going to add this. Okay, I don't think you would have done this. Without those two instructions. I think you left those two out when you uploaded the tactic. I'm assuming that is the case because I don't see you playing an inverted winger and then opting for a fullback attack and telling him not to do it. No. Like, okay, we'll just leave it first. Okay, I'll just leave it first and see whether I was maybe that might have been your decision after all. Because once again, it's an inverted winger, so he's going to be the half space as well. Let's go next. Right, and then no. Quick pick. Boom. Okay, we got. I guess this will work. And we are away. Into the wild blue yonder. Kamaka with the ball. Let's see how this plays out. Alright. I'm paying attention to this guy. This guy. Okay, I want to see how many times he actually goes in. Because you got underlap, what? Right? So he's gone in. The run doesn't really happen. He doesn't go in. The winger, inverted winger went to that space. Okay, inverted winger is sitting in this space. So fullback is giving us the width. Yeah, right. That's enough. We're not changing it. Because I was looking to see who has gone wide in this tactic. Because your tactic always needs somebody to go wide. Generally, you will need somebody to go wide. Otherwise, you're not creating space. You're just compressing the space, making it harder for you to score goals. Okay, so there we go. He's gone wide, right? So now goes up. Nice. Okay, unfortunately for us, he didn't score a goal. I can see potential here. DLF is dropping, holding out the ball. Winger is giving us a width. Roaming playmaker is coming this way. So this guy's going to push out even more as the roaming playmaker comes in. The DLF is going to drop, hold up the ball. Roaming playmaker might play the ball out to the winger, is already here. But there's only problem. The only problem with this tactic is where the width. What's happening on the flanks? I'm just looking out now. Yeah, nice. Holds out the ball. Poacher linking to link up play as he pushes the whole tactic up. No, that's why I love poachers. Poachers bring everybody into play. Yeah, so it's going to be quite funky. Why? One of the reasons why I always have a poacher in every tactic, which is a libero. So my liberos are real superstars. Okay, nice goal. See, I love poachers. Poachers, hands down for me, the best role in the game. It is hands down one of the top. If I have to rank roles in the game, right? These are my 3 favorite roles. Okay, 3 top roles are poacher. I mean, give me 4. I need 4. Okay, poacher, libero, winger, fullback. 4 best roles in the game. Poacher because he brings everybody into play. Fullback and winger, this is the best combination for flank control, flank play. Okay. Then, of course, you got like if you wanted to create a tactic which just has one DM, one mid playmaker, I would always recommend the roaming playmaker. But then, roaming playmakers isn't something for everybody. It isn't. Although I'm toying with the idea of doing something with a tactic. I'm looking at a tactic, I'm thinking of doing an experiment. You see, second half, I'm going to turn this guy into a roaming playmaker. Going to try something radical, okay? We one go up, and I want to do something radical with this tactic. Roaming playmakers, you can find any Tom, Dick, and Harry can play the role. As long as you score off the ball. Yeah, passing, decision, composure. Decent play. I'm going to do it with this tactic. Just watch what we could do with the roaming playmakers in this tactic. The reason why I like roaming playmakers is every time I see a 1 DM system, right, I'm thinking, can I squeeze in a roaming playmaker? It means I got more players in attack. Yeah, that's all it means. It means I got more players who can attack. Second half, this guy is going to be a roaming playmaker. I'm turning this guy into a roaming playmaker. I think it's a bit crazy. Then roaming playmaker and the second guy will be a DLP. I don't know if he's as smart, but hey, man, I want to try. I might lose the game. But we don't figure out. So this guy will become a roaming playmaker. The guy beside him will be a libero. Yeah. We are wanting more fun with this tactic. Not that it's not fun. The only problem is when you have this kind of roles, right? You gotta have guys on the bench who can come on and take. If you play in a game of Football Manager, right? If your tactic plays with 2 DMs, you better have 4 on the bench, 4 in your team. That's the only downside of playing this kind of. I mean, what to do? Yeah, that's a game. Because in the game of Football Manager, it's not real life, no. Football Manager is just that. The moment your DLP or your central midfielder gets very tired, right, the game seems to want to bring on a player that will punish you for not having a fit player in the center. Wow, that's another good opportunity, man. I mean, that is one wicked XG, you know. It's a wicked XG, you know, for this tactic. Very high XG at the start. I like this tactic. Very wicked XG. Because we should at least we should by now be 4 goals up. We should be okay. So I'm going to save. I don't know whose tactic this is. Let me check. LP. Who the heck is Belgique? This, I don't know who CS is now, okay, but this is the tactic of the week, man. Who are you? I don't know, man. I have no clue who this guy is, but I mean, it's not often. I find somebody uploaded a tactic, became tactic of the week. This could be your first upload, but it's tactic of the week. Yeah, it's very nice. Hey, wait, isn't this who I think it is? Wait a minute. I know who this is. This is Spurs. Is it Spurs fan? One of you lah. He's not somebody I don't know. He's one of you, the regular regular Discord members. I suspect he's Spurs fan lah. I think he's Spurs fan lah. You guys are there. I knew it. It's Spurs fan. I knew it. This Spurs fans LP whatever code name. No, this is the reason why I got confused. Yeah. This is why I got confused, baby. Okay, putting into the users, Profeto, Dropbox, FM24, tactic of the week. You guys, Discord, tactics. All these are all the tactics you guys made. They were all standout tactics. Spurs fan again, eh? Spurs fan, SC metric. 141. All right. All right. So I'm going to do something, right? I don't think it's going to work, lah. I just need to know where it's going to work. 2 roaming playmakers. I'm insane. I am insane. Okay, I got ball playing fullback. Okay, we keep 2 defenders. I was about to go 3 liberos too, but I think that's a bridge too far. Yeah, I want to see what happens. 2 roaming playmakers. Marca. Now the 2 is going to enter the zone in front, and then what's going to happen is because these 2 roaming playmakers move up, right? This guy's going to come here. This guy's going to come here. Then you go libero, defend. And then you go libero, defend. You go inverted fullback, defend. Inverted fullback, defend. There you go. And then you got to underlap, right? Okay. Okay, let's go. Yeah. The 2 inverted fullbacks are just gonna be because I was thinking we still need some defend duties. How insane the tactic just became. Yeah. Okay, so we got these 2. Ataboa and Ruggeri are the 2 inverted fullbacks. So we got these 3 in the center. Let's see what happens. Okay. The 2 liberos have stepped up. We're going to have a chain. Now they stop into a 4. Goes in. Oi, come on now. We're trying too much. We're trying too much. We're trying too much. We're definitely trying too much. Just curious. I think this is stupid. Stupid. This is too stupid. Okay. Fullback attack. attack. Alright, we only need one libero. Okay, so this guy, which side should we have the ball playing defender? Here. Put the ball playing defender there. The libero is the guy. Okay. This way we'll at least have one defender. So we're not doing something really. But I want to see. I think the tactic actually is quite good, no? I'm still trying to convince myself that I'm doing the right thing. Okay. We're gonna play Edison. Yes, I'm gonna take out Edison. Zappa Costa will come on. Put miners here. 2 fresh RPMs. Hey, Slip Mali. I'm doing something crazy to Spurs fans tactic. Okay, so what we see the bottom here, this is Blue Neri, right? This is us. Okay. So far, we had to wait for 5 minutes to be up. I'm waiting for this to change. Okay, Ruggeri with the balls, Kamaka. Okay, we gone into this wedge. Okay. Alright, we got into this wedge. We got a zigzag in the middle. Okay. Oh, that was almost through, man. We almost got the pass through. I just wanted to score a nice goal. Okay, alright. Now we pass into space. Okay. Alright. What I'm attempting to do is boom, pa, boom, and then we got a through pass right in the middle. So there's a lot of zigzag passing into the center. Whether it works or not is a different story, you know. Zappa Costa comes on. What the hell? What's the use of bringing you on? You get a yellow card straight away. Obviously, we're not doing something correct. Okay? He's having to defend. He's looking at me going, what have you done to my career? No, I'm sorry, Zappy. But, you know, we want glorious goals. Oh, they missed the chance. Okay, let's go. Okay, Ruggeri, you go to the left. What? Zappa Costa has picked up a card. No, you gotta take him off. Emil, home you go. We're running out, man. We took out one right back. The substitute. This position has had two. This is the third player to play this position today. But it hasn't really changed much. You know, okay, this guy's gone slightly higher. This guy's so this guy just didn't really shift into the middle. I don't expect him to anyway. Seriously, nothing happened. Like, it doesn't affect our tactic. Okay, put it back as a DLP. Okay, on support. Roaming playmaker still there. Let's try this. Let's try and push you forward. Okay. You become an inverted fullback on defense. Okay. Okay. All right, let's see if we got more or not. Comprehensive highlights. So we are defending, right? Means whatever I'm doing is wrong. Okay. Generally, this is my rule. No? If I make a lot of changes, right, to a tactic, and I see me defending all the time, definitely whatever I done, I better unchange that. Yeah, because I'm about to concede a goal. It doesn't mean, wow, look at me defending. We're defending so well. No. You kind of don't want to see that, unless you're playing a low block, low defense. Yeah, if you're playing a low block. So what his tactic originally was definitely correct. I'm just trying different kinds of things. Chances are if I put it back in, we'll be fine. Good defending. All right, Shkami. Good minus. Oh, yeah, looking for the pass. They can't make the pass. Again, lacking the skill to make the pass. All right. Didn't work. Okay, let's put him back. Ball playing defender. Go. Okay. Let's go to key highlights. Boom. And, sorry. And this guy should be a fullback on, I think it was fullback on support. And they win the ball. Yep. Yeah, we have the ball. See what I mean? So, whatever you did, whatever I did wrong, whatever I changed to, correct. Okay, that's, okay, so my crazy experiment wouldn't have worked. So this is still quite good. See, DLP, roaming playmaker, 2 ball playing defenders. Nice. Your tactic is nice. I try to make fun. I try to make fun of myself. That's all. Okay. Very nice. It can even withstand my experiments, no? I'm telling you guys, 4-1-4-1. All these 4-1 systems are very strong. I like the tactic. Very nice. And the star, this whole game was a fullback on the left side. Gary. Oh, not bad. We beat table toppers. Okay. All right. So let's go through all these tactics. I think we covered all the tactics already, right? So now just gonna check whether what the rest of you have uploaded. Okay, all right, we've done all this. Okay, so coming in, this is what we got today. Okay, so download all these tactics. Look at Discord, we got one more tactic in there. Right, Alyssa Montero. U-form counter, isn't it the same tactic? U-form counter, looks like the same tactic. No, I gave the link just now. Yeah, earlier I gave the link up. Yeah, this is the link right now. It's in chat. But I only play with the tactics from Discord. Yeah, I don't play with the tactics that are coming from these tactics. The ones on Discord 100% I'll play. So I got U-form. I'll have to download this one first. Depends how much time I have. I prioritize the guys on Discord. So if you want me to play the tactic, yeah, because sometimes it's true, no. I need to play with the tactic to get a better insight into how he's playing. So sometimes I look at the tactic and go, this won't work. But actually, in reality, it's probably working really well. It's just that I may not be familiar with how those roles are working for you. Oh God, this is cool, man. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I've seen tactics like this before. Quite fun. Quite fun. Yeah. Very fun. I like your tactic. Quite fun. This is a funky tactic, but it's not going to win you a lot of titles. That's all. Per defensive. So, quite defensive, this tactic. Not going to win you a lot. I'd struggle to... Because you see, the thing about these tactics is you got 3 right at the back. So you're going to have to play with a highish defensive line. You're playing a standard, so you don't want your back defenses to be too up the pitch. These guys are your forward line. You got stuck in. Okay, I mean, let's see how this works. This is very defensive, and it looks like maybe it might work. It could work. It could work. If you have, why don't you play this guy as a target forward? Yeah, I would play him as a target forward. Can work. It's quite defensive. It's rugged. It's like how I would set up a low block or a Catanaccio system that just wants to sit back, right? With a standard or a low defensive line. After that, I'm going to change your tactics slightly. You can actually play this like a Catanaccio system. Basically, what you're doing is you're playing with a standard to a low defensive line where you don't want your back line to be too far away from... you don't need them to support midfield or their attacks. And then you play with a high block. And the moment the opposition get the ball, you start pressing. So these 4 just put pressure on the opposition team. But these guys never go up. Possible, I think it can be done. So far, we're not looking too bad, but it's like you got a defensive system. Okay, I mean, like, I'm not gonna knock it off because I have been thinking of making like a 3-1, 4. Basically, similar to yours, 3-1-2, 4. Defensive tactic. Catanaccio. I'm gonna experiment as I can have. Basically is just sit back. But you need to play. The only difference is I don't have the defenders for it. Because my defenders don't have a lot of jumping reach. So you give the ball to the opposition, let them attack you. You win the ball back and then you counter attack. See, we're not winning the header from the central defender. Notice that? I'm going to make a change quickly because I don't think this guy is good enough. Jumping is 17. Actually, he's good enough. Yeah, he's good enough. Oh, I was in a chat. I think you Twitch, right? You can check it out. Or if you're not on YouTube, check the YouTube because the YouTube has a link there. Oh, no, I have to do this. I have to watch the tactic again. Okay. Oh, you got it, man. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like this tactic. Like this is what I meant, right? Sometimes I see the tactic, I probably go like, don't play this. But then once I start playing, I go like, oh, yeah, I get the idea behind the tactic. It's a low block. I know you are Allison, Lifto Pro. I guess as much. I guess it was you. I guess as much. Look, I like this tactic. It's very defensive. No? Okay, I'm going to change it slightly. Okay. Target for attack. Target for support. Or maybe target for support. Wingers, all these guys are good. We gotta leave them doing what they're doing. Okay, but I'm not gonna get stuck in. I think you got to get stuck in. I'm not gonna do that now. Yeah. There's a reason why I don't like get stuck in. Target forward or you got okay. Maybe poacher. Let's try poacher and target advance forward together. Your poacher will be in the box. Alright, distribute quickly, counter, but this time I'm gonna try something. Boom. Boom. Go defensively. So these guys are not going to support the midfield. Okay, so you got Zappa Costa. Put you on the left. Emil Home can play left and right. Zappa Costa. Or he can play left and right too. Alright, we play and just swap you around. Okay, Kolasinac is still okay. Giovanni Bonfanti, not good enough. Okay, alright, let's go. Okay. So now what I have is I'm going to play like a standard low block. Low defensive. I'm not calling it as a low block, low defensive line with a high press. These guys are the ones putting pressure on their back line. These guys are not moving forward. These guys are holding their line most of the time. Right? We don't play with invite cross or anything. So it's a low defensive line, high block, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why not, right? Because these guys can block what? These guys will be not overcommitting. I'm playing a very okay, you want to score goals, come and score. But we're sitting in our half a lot. Oh man, they scored 1 goal. What to do, such is life. Throw-ins, okay. I cannot say anything. Throw-ins all, they happen. I see open play. They score another one. I'll be quite pissed, but don't you dare. Okay. Why is everybody so narrow? Get it. Standard. These are 2 narrow rolls. Okay. Why center back? Okay. Get there. Nice. Okay, good. One over the top. Pasalic. Oi, we almost scored again. Okay. Into the area again. Up. Because our low defensive line. So he doesn't. Toloi didn't go up. Toloi didn't chase after the ball. That's fine. Okay. I take off Lukman. Put Biranchuk here. Put Kamaka here. Okay. That's about it now. So I take off, put this guy in. Gary has got jumping reach, right? Jumping reach of 10. I think Mitchell Baker is better. Okay, all right. So what I did with your tactic is different. I mean, I like your tactic. What I've done is this is like one of those like defensive tactics, right? So you can actually play this tactic with a standard defensive line. Yeah, because this means you see these guys, they don't attack, only these guys, because you got high block, right? You can still play a high block. So only these guys are attacking. These guys are back here defending. So when they counter attack you, you're still safe. All you do is you do this, a long hit, and then they go back. And then, okay, there you see? Quite deep, right? We consider a goal. No. That the defensive line, these guys stopped out. They still stepped up. I didn't want him to step up. He stepped up. What a winker. Hey, Jamie, how are you? Hey, when my tactics defense is solid and the AI scores 2 corners or throw in a goal, they can beat me. Like, that can be quite annoying. Sometimes you just end up losing games in the game, but you gotta also look, right? Okay, I believe, right, there are some key positions in every tactic that determine whether you win or lose. One of those key positions is the DM position. If your DM is getting tired, right, that position needs to be refreshed. I don't know why, but maybe it's just gut feeling that I've had. But I lose more games when my DM is tired than I don't. The tactic would be a tactic to defend casual games. I think, yeah, this can defend. I mean, it can defend casual games. But I wouldn't change how you're playing it, Olive Pro. Just leave it. Yeah, I went even more extreme, a bit more risky, but yeah, it's okay. It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, I can see where you're coming from with this tactic. Like, get stuck in is the only thing I'm a bit worried about, because you've got these guys. What you can do is, instead of playing get stuck in and come in here, more tighter tackle hard with these guys. Okay, so you come in here, do this with these guys, right? That way, what will happen is these guys do all the defending first. This guy is already hard tackling, man. This guy's very hard tackling, right? You don't want him to hard tackle, because if he hard tackles, you get yellow card. You got a problem. If this guy hard tackles, you get a yellow card. You have a problem. You got to think about substituting them. So instead of doing what you're doing with get stuck in, remove this instruction and just apply that. All right, let's go and see why is Spotify showing. Okay, really Spotify, really. Okay. All right, now we come into this. We got no more here. Download all these tactics. I think yours is here, so you form counter. I'll just delete it later. Who is there? Yeah, should be. All right, so let's go through all the tactics, right? Okay, so we got this is your tactic just now. I'm certain of it. That is the same tactic. Correct, I was right. All right, so Dylan, your tactic. After that, Ancelotti. Okay. Why don't you make this role into a wingback on support? Okay, I'll tell you what you do with this tactic, right? This guy is dropping. This guy's attacking, right? This guy's attacking. This guy's all building up play. Okay, my suggestion is to play this guy's inside for on support. Leave him as a wingback. You can also do this wingback on support. Okay, this whole group works together. You do a focus place. Remove the focus play on the right. So you're building up play here to score exclusively from the right. Although I think there's like one too many, but F9 as well dropping in. It's like a lot of fellas. I mean, if you can also do a focus play left and right. What will happen is every time the ball goes left or goes right, more players are on that side of the pitch to support play. Libero pushing up into the middle, he's going to form a partnership with the DM, right? So that can work. I see that working. I do that. In fact, I do that quite a lot too. So if this guy runs off too fast with this guy, you might run into trouble. I mean, you can do this. You can definitely do this, what you're doing right now. It's risky. It is definitely risky because The problem is this flank becomes super attacking. Yeah. But if you have a team that can keep the ball, why not? Oh, don't play invite crosses a back three. Step up more is like you're trying to play with the offside trap. Multiple drop this to here because this line you don't want it to open up and your defenders get exposed. Prevent short goalkeeper distribution is not your friend in this tactic. Get stuck in is also not a friend in this tactic because you got tackle harder everywhere. Remove the tackle harder here. 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 I know what you're doing. Tackle harder here. Hope if you want him to hold position, play libero and defend. He will hold position. Why you have to go and play the other one? Take more risks, dribble more. Don't need all this for this guy. Unless you got a lot of players who are very good defenders. I mean, it's such good players. Cross, stay wider. I mean, these instructions, right? Their tendency to do something. It doesn't mean that they're gonna do it all the time. They're just gonna do it some of the time, right? Not all of the time. Just remember that. See, hold up ball, roll from position, sit narrow. Okay, if I'm going to do all this, what I'll do is I'll just put in an underlap here. Remove all these PIs. And definitely remove mark position. Don't. You don't need to do this. This marking is very ineffective. Yeah. So remove everything now. Then what you have is you have this guy coming around and he will still move around because of the underlap, right? Widest player holding up the ball looking for inside runs. It could be this guy, it could be this guy. Whoever gets around because you told him to stay wider. But you don't want to open this up, hold up position, hold up the ball. You don't need to because this F9 is coming down. F9 is coming down and the volante is going up. Yeah, the libero is coming to this position because zigzag already. You just need these guys to be in that position to score goals. Actually, I really don't like asking him to do this. You want him to be in the area helping you score goals. You don't need him to stay wider. Why would you want him to stay here? You want him to play in this position, then you play him in this position. Right? Because the other thing you can do is instead of doing that, you do this. Then you do underlaps on both sides. This guy drops, these two guys get into the area, you get this guy coming out, got a lot of flooding going on. And then you don't have to do that whole pulling because these guys are gonna pull players out. You can of course go back in here if you want, but I don't think you need to. Otherwise, I'll play him as a poacher, man. You hold the defenders as the rest come. Then I get a lot of. The moment you put a poacher in a defense, right? Their central defenders get occupied. Then you can run at them. Pulling them out works for a short while, but putting a defender on like a role that's on them all the time, they can't move. It just makes space for everybody else to attack the box, which is what you have. You got all these other rules. So I probably play this guy as a poacher, feeling which I play him as an inside forward, and then I add 2 underlaps. That's how I play the tactic. And I play a bit more mix. I mean, you can leave it here, right? Defense. Yeah. This is how I probably play like this, or here is a poacher with 2 underlaps. Okay, Ancelotti. Is it a true Ancelotti? I knew it. It's a true Ancelotti. Okay, box to box. Okay, I tell you what you do here. You don't play you play fullback attack. This will be quite funky. You know why? If you play a wingback, it's going to dribble the ball. You play a fullback, it's going to pass inside and outside and inside and outside. But because this goal is going up and down, right? So you got this perfect symmetry, with this road. Because he's going to work with him ping pong, all the way up the pitch. That's it. Just need to change this one role. Ball winning midfielder is going to win the ball high up the pitch. You can leave a wing back here. This is an aggressive role. Both of them are aggressive roles. Yeah, I usually do the man marking as a inside forward attack against bigger teams or man. Okay, cool. Yeah, use the inside forward. Yeah, I think the inside forward is going to be really cool. Yeah. You do man marking against tougher teams. That can work. I've done it against tougher teams. When I play a tougher team like with Mo Salahs and that, I do the same thing. When I play against really difficult teams, right? Okay, I will definitely use man marking as well. I can see how it can work. This tactic, just leave it like that. Okay, full back on attack, box to box, very nice synergy because this guy is gonna come here, here, and here. Then you got fullback that doesn't dribble with the ball and go like, oh, guess what? I can beat everybody by myself. He's gonna work with him. The synergy is fantastic. You want to do direct, that's fine. That's pass. The direct, well, the problem with this kind of passing is sometimes they go into space. Right? Might not work all the time. So I might drop it down to mid here. If you play on direct, you play here, you might run into some trouble. That's all I'm saying. You can afford to drop it. And this pass into space not necessary. You know why? You got box to box who's got risky passes. You got complete force who's got risky passes. So you've got roles here that can play risky passes. If they don't do enough, and you think you're playing against a really weak team, then add pass into space. If you see your players attacking that space. Yeah. Other than that, leave it. I think I like this tactic. It's nice. A 4-3-1-2 is a good challenge, a bit more challenging than on FM25, but definitely doable. Yeah, this tactic I would play with it any day of the week, man. Yeah, I would use this tactic in a heartbeat. Except I don't have enough midfielders. No. It's a very expensive tactic because you gotta go out there. You gotta find yourself a whole bunch of players to use. Okay, this is inverted winger. Okay. Target forward, play mixed passing. Why? Because sometimes you want the ball to get up the pitch. Underlaps, widest player looking for the ball, looking for inside runs. But you got inverted wingers, you see. And they are marking players. Don't do it. Unless you're playing against a really weak, super strong team, then maybe. But I would never make this a default. Otherwise, you get into trouble against weaker teams. Because then your players they have to go from. They're never always going to be. If I play without it, it's better because I'm not going to face strong teams all the time. But I would take it out. Yeah. Okay, this inverted winger, they're going to go this way, Okay, they want to run this way. But, see, this role, he might go up, hold out the ball, and hope to see him run up the pitch. I mean, you got to ask yourself whether he's going to run into traffic. And so, yeah, that's my only thing. So, if I wanted to do something, I'd probably play these two guys as fullbacks on attack. Okay, why didn't you just play them both as fullback on attack? Now at least you have something here that can leverage on. This guy's going to be high up the pitch. This guy's going to try and go inside. Oh man, still. I'm a big winger fan, not of inverted winger fan. In the game of football, man, there's no way this guy's gonna turn to Iron Robin. Okay, there's no way. If I wanted to employ this like that and then go, if I wanted my Iron Robin runs, I'll probably try something like this. Then I will probably remove the underlap here. Let him run at the defense. This guy is defensive. This guy goes around. So now what you have is a slightly different tactic. Target forward holds out the ball, right? Who holds up the ball, but this guy's gonna run at defender. So it's like more like he drops off and he attacks the defensive line. This guy keeps you honest on this side, so you don't ever concede goals. Here, this guy goes around him. He looks into, he could become a bit of a quasi playmaker of sorts, and these two can work. And he goes around and then he can deliver crosses into the air. I mean, I would try this version as well. It can work. I'm not a big fan of putting tackle hard in the center because your players always get yellow cards or get they just go and step into a player. If I want to do tackle hard, you know what I do? I'll play ball winning midfielder on defense and ball winning midfielder on support. I have a 4-4-2 that's set up like that. Damn good. Because I play high defensive line. This is a pressure zone tactic because these guys are always winning the ball in the opponent's third. As opposed to a CM and support with tackle harder. So what's the difference between the two? This guy is going to take fewer risks. He won't dribble so much. Yeah, but he'll tackle hard. That's the ball winning midfielder. Same thing, right? You're doing the same thing with CM and support, right? But CM and support with the PI tackle hard might do it some of the time. Okay? And some of the time he won't. But role that's got ball winning midfielder on support, he does it as often as he can because that is his role. So which one are you? What do you want? You want him to do that kind of tackling? Then go for the ball winning midfielder. You can play one ball winning midfielder and go on CM defend. Yeah. Now what you're gonna have is a very proactive team because I find that this combination will try and win the ball high up the pitch. But again, I see a lot of people, the moment they put ball winning midfielder, they go panicky. I think I did a stream where I was playing ball winning midfielders and it works. It really works. So my advice is either you can go fullbacks on both sides, one inverted winger charging up to support the target forward. All right, let's see what we have. Okay, we got one. Okay, all right, let's see this tactic. Perang. Okay, 3-4. Okay, you want this to transition into a 3-4-3. I don't know if it's Volante running up. This is like one of those tactics that tries really hard to attack from very deep positions and get everybody running into the third. It's like, okay, why would anybody want, okay, you want to defend in a 5-1. This is how the tactic is going to defend. It defends in a 5-1. I don't even make any sense. Okay, if I was playing football, okay, and if I go to my coach, and I tell my coach, you know what I want to do, okay, to use Canva. Hopefully I can find it. If I go to my coach tomorrow and say, Coach, okay, I got all these players. These are my team. So this is what you're doing, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. This is how your team is going to look. In fact, your team is not going to look like this. You got Libero is going to be out of position and as he comes back. Right. And then you got one more fella here. Well, how are you going to defend? Is you defend your midfield. The OI, the AI, he attacks with the moment he attacks this way, okay, he's gonna have these guys free, because he's always gonna have this kind of a situation against your team where your libero is out of position. You might have one fella there. You got one DM, right? And the other guy is here. No? The other guy is here. So you're always gonna have this kind of a situation in your team, where you got this kind of options for the AI where you can come in and do a two against one in two areas, here and here. So why would you want to have a 5 there? The best defenses are the ones that do a 4-4. Okay. Yeah, either they have 2 wingers, right? One on this side of two side, or they have 2 defenders. Right? Like this, they kind of box defense. So how can the AI defeat you? But what you've got in your setup is extremely risky. It's going to concede a hell of a lot of goals. It's going to concede a lot of goals more. Yeah, so this is going to concede a lot. I would be it's like you defend in 5. I don't think you should. If you're going to do this, Libero coming up, why don't you just play a D here? Volante, you can play him as a 4-2-3. This is so much more better than what you have right now, right? So just go into this. Come here. Now you got a 4-4-2. You got all the flanks. So, yeah, I've already downloaded everybody's tactics one. Everybody's been popping in tactics. I got 2 more here now. Okay, so this tactic I just see. So the one that you just uploaded is Perang. Just play this. Right, you can do a DM on support, and then you can still play a libero coming up. You can do complete wingbacks. But I wouldn't do what you're doing, because then you can't defeat. It's really going to be hard for you to defend attack, because basically it's like this. So you're running a race, right? And you're giving everybody a 10 meter head start, and you're saying I can still win the race. you better have a damn good team in front. Yeah, so I would recommend either you play something like this, but don't do the 5-4 that tactic. That will never transition to a good 3-4-3. You'll just struggle. Yeah, I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't do that. So let's see these two tactics that we got. I think it's public 7 versus 2 tactics. Okay. Extract. Oh, browse. Folder. Extract. Think. Load. Okay, Dylan. I think Dylan 343. This 433 and C. Oh, it's 433 and MV. Okay. This is not bad, man. This is kind of I like this. This is kind of funky. Yeah. Fullback, winger, RPM, focus player. Yeah. Focus player. This is interesting. RPM is going up and down. This guy's gonna win the ball high up the pitch. You can score goals on this side. Mix passing. Okay. This is not bad. Wing back is going to support play. Wing back. Okay, this ball winner midfielder is going to try and win the ball here. The wing back is high up the pitch. That's it. Yeah, counter press. Yeah, this is fine. High defensive line. This is fine. Yeah, I'll just change. I had a focus play down the left side because the roaming playmaker or sometimes drop here, right? And he will keep up with the rest of the roles. It's not bad. So that's one way of doing it. So this is, I'll just leave it like this. Just add focus play, fairly narrow, stand up your passing. And you got it. I think this tactic can do well. You got complete forward roaming plus all these roles. In fact, here you can, this winger is just fine. Yeah. Winger, roaming, playmaker, fullback. And then your tempo, don't make it too high. Nice. I like it. Definitely, it's a good tactic. You can even play on higher mentalities. You can definitely play on higher mentalities. Okay, then the CCF2, right? Okay, I'm not downloading anymore after this. These are the last two I'm downloading. Okay, CCF2. CM on attack, put this guy here lah. Turn this guy into a fullback on attack and then tell you what you do. Don't do all this. Sit narrow, cut inside with the ball. Okay, he comes inside. Winger. Tell this guy to be a winger on support. Winger on support. Turn this guy to be a fullback on attack. Tell him to come inside. Don't go out. Remove the mark. These guys all don't mark. Okay, don't go into the game and mark specific position. You gotta have to spend the whole game marking those fellas. Yeah, no you run. Go inside. Okay, you know why you go inside? These guys are attacking. You want them to come into the middle, support the area while they go forward, so you can still control. These guys are holding the width, and then you want them on support, and then you can play overlap. You can play underlap. Both you can do. Tempo, don't. You see, you're already using an advanced forward. Poker play a lot of attacks. Your attacks are definitely going to be fast. So you don't actually need higher tempo. What you need is slower tempo. Pass into space is just too desperate for your attacks, right? You don't need pass into space because you got this guy is passing into space, right? You got this guy passing into space. You got this guy passing into space. Right? And you got this guy playing pass into space. You want more, play this guy as a ball playing defender. And you don't need to take more risk because you got ball playing defender. He's gonna do all that. Don't tackle harder and don't mark tighter with defenders. Yeah, they get pulled out of position. Don't tackle harder with this guy. They get pulled out of position. You want that? You can do it with these guys. You can tell all these guys to mark tighter, tackle harder. But this is how I play it. Yeah, the CM attack, AF. This role can be a poacher. No? Keep a poacher here. This is a poacher's role. You have a poacher, the defenders get pinned, right? These two guys are going to score lots of goals. So don't play that. Keep it simple. Poacher. Then you don't need pass it shorter. You don't need this. You don't need this. You want him to hold position. That means he's standing in front of two defenders. Defenders got nowhere to go. These guys running defenders. He gets space. He scores goal. That's how it works. Because the moment the poacher holds the defenders at bay, then you get other players that can run at defense. You definitely can do that. Right? Then I think We did all right. Lizzie Brave. I did this. I did this. Ancelotti, CCFC. Yeah, we did all of them except for 2 more that just came in. So I'm going to make life a bit easier for myself. Then come in here and delete all this. And then we come to 8. And okay, let's look at this. All right. 4 and 2, 3. Interesting. Strikeless. Yeah, I would never play strikeless with Ram Doctor. Okay. Strikeless, mass attack, enganche in a strikeless tactic. This guy saw it. No. My goodness. What? No. Strikeless is high block, high press, not low block. Already so deep, you want to go even low block. No. There's no such thing as, you can't, because the game doesn't recognize you. Because when you play without a striker, the game knows it. So the game does know when you're not playing without a striker. Okay, so what I would recommend is, what you do is you do this, right? You play 2 double inside forwards. Okay, they're going up inside. Okay, then this guy is like a fullback on attack. Stay wider, that's fine. Cross him, target forward. You got no run right with ball, fine. Okay, you play this guy as a fullback on attack as well. This guy is a ball playing defender because you want a lot of players to be moving out the ball, and then you want it to be super narrow. Yeah, something like this. So you use the inside channels to pass the ball. Enganche coming up, Mazala going this way. Fullback can go wide with the underlap. You want to underlap on the left and on the right. Counter press. Yeah, you don't play low blocks. I wonder whether AI manager or rent. AI managers, they use OIs very differently from humans because there's now that SI has realized it, they're probably going to change how it works. Because I was the first guy to point out to SI that I can get angles without the use of trap inside, trap outside. Because trap inside, trap outside starts triggering from their half, right? Yeah. Originally, 2 fullbacks were inverted fullbacks. And that's not bad, right? I mean, that's the inside is a DMD, bro. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that was the other tactic, the libero one. I think if that was your original plan, it would have been better. Play them as inverted fullbacks. They straddle the libero, right? Yeah, that can work. That was the original look at your tactic. These fullbacks are gonna go wide. So you want and then strikeless tactics, you're always playing with. You see, the problem is strikeless tactics because you're in your own third. So what we tend to do is you tend to play high up the pitch. And then you don't need low crosses in strikeless. Already taking so many risks with this kind of tactics. So you can do it like this. Strikeless tactics are inherently risky by nature. So, hey, Mez is going here. This guy is going here. So you basically, Mez is gonna go here inside for my attack the box. Yeah. Strikeless tactics got killed by me in FM23. A lot of strikeless formations. I worked very hard with SI to kill them. Neuter them. I was sending in a lot of bugs. Why strikeless systems are actually very good on Football Manager. Because I wanted to see roles do the job. Because roles can do quite a good job in the game as strikeless roles. So sometimes you want to do a strikeless tactic. I'll play the F9, drop him, and I can still get the whole strikeless set up because this guy is not attacking the zone. Yeah. If you wanted to, right, this role as an enganche is not so good. You play AM on support, he'll roam from left and right. So this guy then will drift here and drift here because you got the roles to attack the center. Another one that you can do is you can play the shadow striker as well. He pins the defenders down. So, you're going to allow that team to come at you. The enganche probably not going to move around so much. He wants everybody to run off him. Strikeless tactics tend to really do well when you are running at defenders. Everybody is. So I'll probably change his role from enganche to shadow striker, APS. And then I'll set it up with underlaps on both sides of the 2 inside forwards and change the 2 here to fullbacks on attack. You can also have a very good tactic. But the problem is when you play inverted fullbacks, right? Actually, this tactic becomes even stronger. But the problem is this: is you kind of have one too many roles in the center, so you want to push them into the area. This tactic has got too many roles in the center. That's why I find. In fact, when I'm playing this setup, right, I do something different. Ooh, this is nice. This is very nice. Oh, yeah. Tactic. As far as AM, what's this guy doing? Get for the ball. Okay, can. Take more risk to the ball. Yeah, okay. Generic rules. Wingers and attack. How high up are you? You're quite high up. Good. Prevent shot goalkeeper distribution. Get stuck in. Very risky, I know. I know why you're doing all this. Because you want to put so much pressure on teams. You're looking to put as much pressure as you can on fullbacks and wingbacks. Yeah, there's so much so that you haven't done this. Yeah, I get what you've done with this tactic. Yeah, and BPDs because they'll bring the ball out of defense, right? Yeah, dribble more. I knew it. Yeah. You gotta stay away. You want to dribble and attack, and they take more. Okay, this is a holding. They're both holding positions. The only problem is you can actually do it a defend duty. Yeah. If you want them just to hold position, you can do a defend duty. Tackle hard is very risky for these two roles because the moment they get a yellow card, your tactic falls apart. These two are you need 4 players, no? Enganche is just not a role I like. I mean, I use it in strike. I use it in a strikeless tactic like 3-4-1-2. Like 2 and then 2 shadow strikers and then 2 volantes coming up. Oh man, that guy rocks, man, in that setup. Like if I were to turn this into a volante system, right? And then 3 fellas here, 1 enganche, 2 shadow strikers, 2 volantes here, 2 shadow strikers here, 1 enganche here, this tactic is gonna rock because it's gonna destroy teams. Because the volantes come out, the shadow strikers go into the box. Who is the traffic warden? The enganche. All the enganche does is like handing the ball to all these fellas going past him. So that's when the enganche really shines. So if I want to set up a strikeless tactic with an enganche will be set up here, like with 2 shadow strikers and 2 volantes backing him up. That way you get all the roles moving forward. And this tactic, right, can morph into that quite easily. Just put changes to enganche, right, and these 2 shadow strikers. And you got yourself a very strong tactic as well. Be able to put pressure on opposition teams. As I will say is design. It's by design. And I can tell you one thing, right? There is no way SI is going to change anything now because it's a bit late in the game. They're not changing any more roles. They're not bringing any more new roles into the game. They are, in fact, there will be a lot of roles that are discarded in FM26, and there will probably be some roles rationalized. Meaning, there are some roles in the game of Football Manager that are not very far apart from each other. They're so close to each other in terms of what they're doing that it's almost ridiculous arguing about the key differences between the 2 roles when there's not much between the 2 roles to begin with. I mean, it's like maybe like a bit higher than the other role. That's about it. So, and there's so many placebo things in this game. So when people make changes to like the JSON files and stuff like that, there is placebo. So there are roles here that you might argue that they are. Like enganche is going to be one of those roles. Right? I can tell you what roles I suspect are gone. No, you won't see them in Football Manager. Doctor and enganche. These 2 roles will go because there are other roles that can do the job just like them, and the 2 roles don't really factor into world football anymore. Yeah. So you don't see teams doing that. And this is I've noticed that when SI start looking at roles and duties, right, very closely, they're always trying to make sure that those roles and duties are relevant for today's game, not for a game that was played in 1975. So whenever we get sentimental about the game, it's very important to realize, while being sentimental is fantastic, we all miss Ian Rush, we all miss John Terry, we all, I don't miss John Terry, we all miss Puskas, or wish we could have seen Puskas play. But the problem is this, that the styles of football, they don't exist anymore. Just like we have Catanaccio in the game, right? Right. We have Catenaccio as a. I was one of those guys, right? That was like, why the Catenaccio in the game? I was like, my reaction was quite shocking. No, when I saw Catenaccio, I was like, why do we have Catenaccio in the game? We have parked the bus and we have got Catenaccio. Catenaccio as a tactical system or a concept died when the sweeper died. Because the Catenaccio required a sweeper. And the Catenaccio was never low tempo. In the game of Football Manager, it is set up as a low tempo system. When in reality, they sit back and then they quickly get the ball up. That was Catenaccio. But I'm looking at, it's not Catenaccio. So, quite strange. Enganche we get further forward. PI scores a lot for me, but a striker. I don't need my Enganche does a lot of. I can make Enganche to get an 8 every single game, but the problem almost every single game. We average an 8, but I just don't like how the role plays. I got a Trecotista was the role of Riquelme. Juan Roman Riquelme. Juan Roman was not Trecotista. It was Enganche. Trecotista was somebody else. It was the Italian player. It was modeled on an Italian player. Trecotista Enganche was modeled on Juan Roman Riquelme because he never defended. And then Trecotista was modeled on an Italian player. Cannot remember the Italian player's name. He played for Roma, if I'm not mistaken. He was I think I'm right. He played for Roma. I just can't remember his name right now. Because when they were discussing Trecotista, the guy that I was talking about had just, stopped playing for Roma at that time. I think so. I can't remember. Such a lot. Do you have any good questions for a good left winger? Well, sure, ask the chat. For me, no, it wasn't Kaká. Somebody else. Definitely not Kaká. 100% not Kaká. Somebody else. It cannot. This guy, I can see his face. I just can't remember his name. I see his face in front of me. I know. I can't remember his name now. He's an Italian. Trecotista was modeled off an Italian player because that guy was a true blue Trecotista. Yeah, I remember that. I think it was Baggio. Yeah, I think it was Baggio. Not Roma, right? Totti. Francesco Totti. That's the one. Francesco Totti. No, I remember. It was modeled off Francesco Totti. Yeah, it was modeled off Francesco Totti. Because Totti was the Trecotista at that time. You'll never see footballers like Michael Laudrup because football has become way too... Exactly. All these players gone. You'll never see players like Ronaldinho anymore. Because the days of... The days of those kind of players, that kind of style of football, gone. Just absolutely gone. Players like Baggio, Totti, Ronaldinho, cannot. No more. Boys. Very boring. Because then we got to blame people like who are have got you for screwing up the game of football. No more individual brilliance. I think no more brilliance. Everybody are like, oh my god, you mean this guy is here to coach me? Shit. I wanted to score that beautiful goal. Now I cannot score that beautiful goal. Francesco Totti. I loved him. I grew up admiring players like Totti, Baggio. They were my favorite players to watch. Michael Laudrup was another one. Yeah. I consider myself very lucky. I consider myself very lucky because I got to love football through that phase of where the game was epitomized by individual brilliance. That's when it became like the thing, right? We had the only true Ronaldo. There can be only one Ronaldo. Okay, the other one, the currently traverses the world and has his faces on all the cereal boxes, is the fake Ronaldo as far as I'm concerned. There was only one Ronaldo. For me, that was the Ronaldo. And he had skill, man. He had some awesome skills. I think our generation, we gonna miss all that. Now we're left with all this, What do you think? Okay, do you guys think that Mo Salah can get his 2 goals, 2 assists? No? He's 2 assists away, but the thing is, Liverpool now have to play Chelsea, Arsenal, Can he get a Spurs? Yeah, 2 assists. It'll be sad if you can do in FM only tactics that are actually played in real life. Try to use. I know. I tried to use old concepts to play Football Manager. It would be fun if the system allowed us to. Like, yeah, it would be fun if you could. But the problem is, I think there's only so much they can do, right? I mean, can you imagine if the game will allow if the game will allow us to have this thing, a switch that says, I do not want to play with positional play. That would be fantastic. Or suddenly all of a sudden when you're playing a game, right, you can actually hit a dial that says, right, all these modern concepts are gone. Would it be good? I don't know. I think the only thing I can do is dream on, dream away. Anyway, guys, I've got to put my kids to sleep. It was fantastic. I hope I helped all you guys out with your tactics. We shall be back tomorrow. Hey, we're doing, you know what, right? You guys know what's happening, right? Rebuild Hungary. That's the goal. We're gonna try and build Hungary into a dominant superpower in the world. Is that going to be possible before? At least that's a save I think can last until FM27. Yeah. Anyway, I hope I helped you guys out with your tactics. Once again, I want to thank everyone for popping those tactics into the Discord channel. I enjoyed playing with them. For those other tactics, the latest one, this is definitely this arrowhead has potential. The arrowhead shape has always had potential in Football Manager. So I'll thank all of you coming in. Thank you for setting your tactics. I'll see you guys tomorrow for what should be a very interesting rebuild, that Hungarian team again. And have a good evening. Take care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves. Take care of yourselves. And good night. Bye-bye, guys.